This morning, we're live from American Family Field for the Brewers home opener. We'll tell you what you can look forward to at today's game.
Plus, referendums are on the ballot for both Baraboo and Cottage Grove, what voters are deciding on. Well, good morning and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for joining us. Well, I tell you what, it's not time to put away that winter coat just yet.
Unfortunately.
No, I had to break out the boots and the winter coat this morning because it's a bit chilly, if I do say so myself.
It was. Let's check in with Jacob Montesano and see what everybody's looking for this morning.
Yeah, we're going to see those cold temperatures for much of the day. The good news is that it will be dry and sunny, but right now temperatures are below freezing, upper 20s, lower 30s. We also are dealing with a little bit of a wind, but the wind actually has continued to get calmer, and it is expected to get calmer throughout the day as well. But all that precipitation we saw over the weekend, that has moved out of the region. And as we take a look at the forecast throughout the day, temperatures will be in the 30s till about noon, and then they're only going to rise into the middle 40s for Madison. Winds around 10 miles per hour throughout the day. And look at the highs throughout the area, mostly in the 40s, around 40 to 45 degrees will be your high temperatures. For those attending the game, Milwaukee does look to see highs in the lower 40s, so the dome likely going to be closed. However, although today will be quiet, we are going to be seeing an alert day in the forecast again, this time for strong to severe storms. Tuesday night into Wednesday is the time frame. I'll talk more in detail about this coming up a little bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Well, I think we should get this started. All right, what are we going to do?
Give me a G.
G.
Give me an O.
O.
Give me a go.
Go.
Brewers.
Shake the pom-pom. Yay.
We tried.
Yes, we did. We should have coordinated a little better.
We should have.
But baseball is back. Today, the Brewers open up the 2025 season against the Kansas City Royals.
Yes, they do. And our Chris Stanford is live at American Family Field with a preview of what to expect this season. Good morning.
Good morning. You couldn't have practiced that cheer a couple of times first? Come on. You know, I love the enthusiasm. Oh, I love it. I love it. It is an exciting day in Milwaukee and across the state as the Brewers return for the 2025 season here to American Family Field in just a few hours. Of course, it will be somewhat of a bitter day here at AmFam Field. It's thrilling because baseball is back, but also it's sad because it's going to be the first season in more than 50 years that Bob Uecker won't be here after he passed away earlier this year on January 16th. All right, so we know that the Brewers are planning on honoring him with a big celebration here at the ballpark later this summer, but there are already a couple of statues here at the ballpark that pay tribute to the legend. This season, the team is offering up a bunch of new merchandise available at the Pro Shop. Proceeds benefit causes supported by Bob and his family. The team has already talked about, that big event later this summer to celebrate Uecker. They are in the planning stages of that right now and may announce something later this week. One team official says they're working on a Uecker experience, a permanent fixture here at the ballpark to pay tribute to the legendary broadcaster. A permanent addition to the stadium. As I said, that's several years out, though. They're in the planning stages. Okay, let's talk about some of the new stuff here at the ballpark this season. Fans can check out the Alley Food Truck Park. Some local restaurants are setting up shop, so look out for tacos, grilled sandwiches, hot beef sandwiches, and gelato. Rideshare lot, that's moving to the Molitor lot on the other side of I-94. This new drop-off pickup location will be accessed via Blue Mound Road and Yount Drive. The team store at home plate has been refreshed for 2025 with a new customization corner for personalized jerseys. Back out here live, just a few hours away from Brewer baseball as they take on the Kansas City Royals this afternoon at 1:10. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to check out some of the new merchandise that's available for fans and talk about what else you guys can anticipate this season. Now, ladies, we'll send it back to you.
And we're going to redeem ourselves here with our cheer. All right, here we go.
This one's for you, Chris.
This one's for you.
All right, let's hear it.
All right.
To the G, to the O, yeah, go, go. To the G, to the O, yeah, go, go.
Okay, we did it.
All right. Okay.
Redeemed ourselves. Redeemed ourselves.
All right. Much better. There you go. Love to see it.
Remember to tune into WISC-TV 3 at 1 p.m. today to watch the Brewers home opener. This will mean programming changes for your shows. Our noon newscast will be an hour long And your favorite shows that usually start at 12:30 will air on TW.
All right, well, let's get to some other local news this morning. UW-Madison police are investigating after a man reportedly threatened a person while armed with a knife on campus.
Police say it happened just before midnight on East Campus Mall near Og Hall and LeBon Arena. Police say the suspect is no longer in the area, and he is a man described as wearing a red baseball cap, dark jeans, a dark zip-up jacket, and white shoes. Anyone with information should call UWPD.
Tomorrow is the spring election, and News 3 Now is your home for election coverage. So be sure to tune in to News 3 Now this morning and our other newscasts later in the day for coverage. Tomorrow, polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. If you're in line at 8 p.m., please stay in line and vote. And don't forget to register to vote, but you can do so on the day of. You just need an ID and proof of address.
Statewide on the ballot, voters will choose the next superintendent of public instruction. Voters will also vote on a constitutional amendment. This would enshrine an ID requirement to vote in the state's constitution. And the biggest race of 2025 is the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
And tomorrow, voters will determine the balance on the Supreme Court. It will either remain predominantly liberal or turn conservative. The candidates are liberal Justice Susan Crawford and conservative Brad Schimmel. Crawford has earned the endorsement of the Democratic Party and former President Barack Obama. Meanwhile, Schimmel is endorsed by President Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
The Baraboo School District is asking voters for $70 million to improve schools. Many Baraboo elementary schools are currently at capacity. The district is hoping to expand their elementary schools by adding new classrooms among other needed spaces. They're also needing an upgrade to mechanical and electrical systems. On Cottage Grove's referendum is opening a public library. The village has chosen the Old Learning Ladder Daycare Center at 312 West Cottage Grove Road as a potential site. A yes vote would allow the village to purchase the building and develop a formal plan for designing and operating the library, and a no would mean the project won't go ahead. The projected cost for the library is $1.3 million, and it would be levied through a property tax increase. Now make sure to tune in to News 3 this morning on Wednesday because we will announce our winner of our Spirit of Service campaign. One of the 5 veterans you voted for will win $5,000 presented by Vortex. Again, that is Wednesday, April 2nd, right here on News 3 Now this morning.
Coming up in our morning sports, we'll have more details about our coverage for today's game and what you can expect in our hour-long special at the field.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
Now this morning, moving forward.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. Temperatures will be cooler today and tomorrow, but all of today and the first half of tomorrow will be dry until we see that mix move in late Tuesday. But that mix of rain and snow will be replaced by all rain and a few thunderstorms later in the night by Wednesday morning. And some of those storms could be severe, and the strong to severe thunderstorm risk is why we have an alert day in the forecast. This is for all of southern Wisconsin. The further south you're located, the better chance you will see that severe weather. And again, Tuesday night into Wednesday is the time frame. Slight risk for just about everybody. Marginal risk further north and west, but also an enhanced risk to the south of us. This does include southern Rock County and a good chunk of Walworth County. Now, looking at the severe weather hazards, the more likely hazards will be hail and gusty winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado. And with the rain we've seen, it wouldn't surprise me if we do see some minor flooding concerns as well. So let's time all of this out. Again, for today, we are going to be very dry. Sunny skies are expected by the afternoon, and we're going to continue to see clear skies for the overnight hours and to start your Tuesday. But clouds will move in Tuesday afternoon with precipitation moving in towards Tuesday evening. It will start out as that rain-snow mix, but later in the night, we're going to be seeing all rainfall. And by Wednesday morning, at least closer to sunrise Wednesday, we'll see heavy rain move into the area. Now, Wednesday morning, roughly this time Wednesday, that'll be the best chance to see that severe weather. Now, for areas south and east, that severe weather risk will last a little bit later into the morning. And for the afternoon, will be a lot drier, but we still are going to be seeing a few isolated showers and storms that could produce some minor severe weather as well. So definitely stay tuned throughout the afternoon as well for the possibility of severe weather, but especially those morning hours. Now, most of the precipitation will clear out by Wednesday night, and conditions look a lot calmer for the the end of the week. But until then, we're going to be seeing about an inch, if not more than an inch of rainfall. And like I mentioned, it could create some minor flooding concerns. So looking at the 7 to 10 day forecast, it's going to be very quiet after Wednesday. But we still have one more significant chance of rainfall before those things quiet down. And even when they do quiet down, they'll unfortunately be on the cooler side with highs in the lower 50s and 40s. So those 70s we saw Friday, we're gonna have to wait a little bit before we see those again.
Yeah, I went from a no jacket to a coat this morning, and it's just too much for me to handle right now. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Jacob, thank you. This morning, we're helping Brewers fans get ready for today's home opener, and you can watch it right here on WISC-TV.
Chris and Savannah are live at American Family Field to show us what's new this year. Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's a great day for baseball, even though it's not really feeling very spring-like outside. They got the roof closed, and I think it feels pretty nice in here.
Yeah, it's comfortable. I'm in my long sleeve, and I'm glad I wore the long sleeve this morning.
Yeah, hey, well, one of the things that baseball fans, want to grab before the season gets too far underway is some new merch. And Sean Marefka with the Brewers is here to show us what's new for the crew this year. Thanks for joining us this morning. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
What do you have to honor Bob Uecker?
Oh, that's everybody's conversation this morning. We collaborated with the family and a company, Brew City, that's located here in Milwaukee, to offer an honorable collection to honor Bob. We'll have pins, two t-shirts, and 3 fleece pieces to offer to the fans. It's been flying off the shelf all last week since we launched it on Monday, but it's okay. We got a whole shipment in on yesterday afternoon, so we're all ready to go for today.
Will that be available all season?
We're looking at turning the collection around. This collection will be here for the first few months of the season, and then hopefully we'll refresh it with some new merchandise that we collaborate with the family on.
The loss of a legend like Bob Uecker, I mean, this is a guy who developed so many personal relationships within the Brewers organization. You were telling me that you had a nice relationship with him. How is the organization doing? What are the emotions surrounding opening day?
It's going to be hard without Bob. We sat there and launched a jersey patch at spring training that the players will be wearing on field today and throughout the season. We offer that in the store as well to our fans. Listen, life without Bob is going to be very difficult, but anything we can do to keep him in our minds and in our lives will be good.
Yeah. And some of the proceeds from some of the sales of the Uecker merchandise, that's going to go to a good cause, I hear?
Correct, yes. The merchandise that is in the store will go to Bob's charities, and then the patch that the players are wearing that we're also offering on jerseys in the store, 100% of the proceeds will go to the charities as well.
All right, Sean, can't thank you enough for having us out this morning. It is a bittersweet day, but it's also a time to celebrate everything that Bob gave us, us baseball fans and the state of Wisconsin. So really looking forward to seeing what the Brewers have in store to help commemorate everything that he's done for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. All right, well, Savannah, people coming to the game, leaving the game. How's it looking? Smooth sailing? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we saw our first tailgaters already outside when we pulled in early this morning. So yeah, if you're going to be out here soon, I would say definitely bring the coat, hat, everything, bundle up. But we're going to see, at least for tailgating, temperatures hovering right around 30 degrees, but then once we get closer to that first pitch at 1:10, I think temperatures will come up a little bit. It'll still be cooler than normal, but at least we'll start to see those thicker clouds move out of here. And then I think, Chris, we'll see the sunshine by the end of the game, but that's as everyone's leaving.
So maybe more like an October Packer game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Than a late March Brewer game,
weather.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, that'll do it for us. Coming up here in a little bit, we're going to talk about more of what Brewers fans can anticipate this season live from AmFam Field. Ladies, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Chris and Savannah, thank you. Let's check in now with our morning sports.
The Brewers opened their 2025 campaign with back-to-back losses and were back in the Bronx yesterday looking to avoid their first 0-3 start in a decade. But to get that win under their belt before today's home opener, they'd have to shoot down the Yankees' torpedo offense. Top of the first, 2 away with the bases juiced for Sal Frelick, who rips a single through the right side of the infield, giving Milwaukee the early lead. But those torpedoes, they were firing again yesterday. Bottom of the third, New York York leading 3-1, and Jazz Chisholm hits a wall-scraping 2-run homer, and it would only get uglier from there. The Crew fall to 0-3 and lose it 12-3. But today is a day to celebrate in Milwaukee. The Brewers play their first home game of 2025 today, and it will air right here on News 3 Now. Leading up to that 1:10 p.m. first pitch, News 3 will host an hour-long special with coverage from American Family Field, getting you ready for my favorite holiday of the year, opening day. The Bucks have lost 3 straight and are without Damian Lillard for the foreseeable future. They hosted the Hawks last night in a game not only that they should have won, but needed to win to find their groove, and it looked good early. Pat Connaughton puts it only where Giannis could yam it. The Freak finishes the alley-oop, and the Bucks would lead by 7 points after 1 quarter of play. But from there, it was all Atlanta. The Hawks would outscore the Bucks 81-48 in the second and third quarters combined, and Milwaukee would go on to lose it in a landslide, 145-124. Stand on the basketball court, headed to the college ranks where the Final Four is set. And if you filled out your bracket by just picking the top-seeded teams to advance, you are looking like a genius. Houston blew out Tennessee before Auburn stifled Sparty, meaning for the first time since 2008, all 4 number 1 seeds are the last team standing. News 3 Now will be live at AmFam Field throughout the day, and make sure to tune in later for that hour-long special leading into the Brewers home opener that will air right here on News 3. Until then, have an outstanding opening day.
You too. Still ahead, an unexpected guest is making a graduation speech, and what nostalgic show is coming soon to Netflix in live action?
And coming up in our next half hour, President Donald Trump hinting at a 3rd term. But we'll take a look at what the Constitution says.
I'm back. It's 6:24. This is a photo from our friend Gwen. She says, home opening day for our Brew crew. Thanks for sending this in, Gwen. Be sure to send us those pictures. Tell us what your morning looks like. We love to share them, and we'll share them every morning around this time.
Yeah, so we had to say, you have a cheer.
I do have a cheer. When I say go, you say Brewers. Go! Brewers, go! Brewers!
Oh, I'm sorry. I was sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
You good
Sorry.
job.
He's a Cubs fan, so he was trying to hold out on
That's
us
okay.
here.
No, it's okay. I'll be a Brewers fan today.
Thank you. There we go.
Well, in our trending news this morning, University of Maryland students will learn it's not easy being green at their commencement this year. The school has announced Kermit the Frog is delivering the graduation speech in May. Kermit has a long history with the school. Muppets creator Jim Henson graduated from the university in 1960. The campus garden has a bronze statue of Kermit and Henson. Kermit briefly delivered a commencement address to the Southampton College graduating class of 1996. The beloved puppet will offer words of optimism and encouragement as students embark on a new chapter in their lives.
Well, I hope he brings Miss Piggy with him.
Oh,
there she is.
Look, there you go. I don't know if I have any guests, but I guess they'll have to see. They'll have to find out. Well, another trending news this morning, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Where Are You? Coming to Netflix, this time in live action. So while there are 3 live action movies, this is the first ever live action Scooby-Doo series. So for all of you Scooby-Doo fans, you'll get to see that coming to Netflix real soon. There's no release date just yet, but real soon.
I probably will be watching that. I like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
I like this movie. I didn't know there was 3. I thought there was just 2 live action movies. Anyway, quiet but cool today. Rain will move in. Actually, rain and snow Tuesday night, then all storms this time Wednesday.
All right, more day is 1 day away. The message Elon Musk has for Wisconsin voters and how the opposition is responding.
Plus, it's Brewers home opening. Our team is live in Milwaukee with what you need to know.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on a Monday. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. It's the Brewers home opening day.
Yes, it is indeed. We're ready.
Yes, we are. It's an exciting day. Obviously, that weather, though, temperature's maybe not looking so typical for your home opener day,
working
though.
well for them, but we'll get them exactly what they need to know with our first warn meteorologist, Jacob Montesano. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle Renee. We are seeing cooler temperatures today, but it will be sunny, so there is some good news and some bad news. Right now, temperatures in the upper 20s, lower 30s, so they are below freezing. We aren't seeing a lot of wind, but we may see a little bit of a breeze today. Wind speeds will be around 10 miles per hour for much of the day, 13 miles per hour right now in Milwaukee. But the good news is that we did see all that precipitation clear out during the night, and right now we are completely dry. Now, we're going to remain dry throughout the entire day with the clouds clearing out by the afternoon completely, with sunny skies, highs in the middle 40s, so a few degrees below normal, and obviously a lot cooler than some of the days we've seen the past couple weeks, especially Friday where we hit 78. Not going to get anywhere close to that, unfortunately. Highs across the area between around 40 to 45 degrees with plenty of sunshine in the afternoon. Milwaukee, a high of around 42, maybe a little bit more cloud cover as you get closer to the lake. Now, it's going to be quiet today, but we have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. All the details coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Now to our top story this morning. UW-Madison police are investigating after a man reportedly threatened a person while armed with a knife on campus.
Police say it happened just before midnight on East Campus Mall near Ogg Hall and LeBon Arena. Police say the suspect is no longer in the area. He's a man described as wearing a red baseball cap, dark jeans, a dark zip-up jacket, and white shoes. Anyone with information should call UW-PD.
And tomorrow is the spring election. News 3 Now is your home for election coverage, so be sure to tune in right here to News 3 Now this morning and throughout the day in our later newscast for live coverage. Polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. tomorrow, so if you're in line at 8 p.m., stay in line and go ahead and vote. If you're not registered to vote, you still can in person. You just need an ID and proof of address.
Statewide on the ballot, voters will choose the next superintendent of public instruction. Voters will also vote on a constitutional amendment. This would enshrine an ID requirement to vote in the state's constitution. And the biggest race of 2025 is the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
And in the final weekend of the spring campaign, Trump ally Elon Musk held a rally in Green Bay. It's part of the most expensive judicial race in the country's history. Political reporter Will Keneally has more.
Yeah, in this nationally watched race, Elon Musk has spent millions of dollars already, giving $2 more million-dollar checks to voters here in Green Bay.
Let me first hand out two $1 million checks in appreciation.
Those checks in appreciation for voters signing pledges to oppose activist judges. In order to hand over the checks and not break state election law, Musk couldn't ask those voters to pledge support for a specific candidate. But Musk is an outspoken advocate for the conservative in the race.
It's actually something that I think it's one of those things that may seem like it's obviously important in the state of Wisconsin, but I think it could actually be important for the country as well, and maybe for the world.
Musk says that's because the next Supreme Court could redraw Wisconsin's congressional districts. Republicans could lose seats in that process. Speaking to a crowd of a couple thousand, Musk was at times interrupted.
Yeah, it's really wild. It was inevitable that at least a few Soros operatives would be in the audience.
A frustration that was mirrored by a few hundred protesters gathered outside the event.
Show me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! I had to come out and stand out here with my neighbors and say, absolutely not, we're not going to be bought.
The stakes, whoever wins on Tuesday will decide the balance of the state Supreme Court, a part of Wisconsin government that can set a significant amount of state policy.
Because I am concerned about union rights. We have an Act 10 lawsuit coming through the state as well. Women's rights. There are a lot of legitimate things to be concerned about with how Tuesday's Supreme Court race goes.
Those two candidates will square off in that election on Tuesday. Reporting from Green Bay, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
In response to Elon Musk's visit, the Susan Crawford campaign says in part, quote, if elected, Schimmel would guarantee Musk's companies have favorable rulings and he'll rubber stamp an extreme agenda that includes banning abortion, restricting voting rights, and stripping health care coverage.
On Cottage Grove's referendum opening a public library, the village has chosen the Old Learning Ladder Daycare Center at 312 West Cottage Grove Road as a potential site. A yes vote would allow the village to purchase the building and develop a formal plan for designing and operating the library. A no would mean the project won't go ahead. Now, the projected cost for the library is $1.3 million, and it would be levied through a property tax increase.
Now to more election coverage. The Baraboo School District is asking voters for $70 million to improve schools. Many Baraboo elementary schools are currently at capacity. The district is hoping to expand their elementary schools by adding new classrooms, among other needed spaces. They're also needing an upgrade to mechanical and electrical systems.
Voters will choose between incumbent Dr. Jill Underly and challenger Brittany Kinzer for state superintendent. Underly has served as a superintendent since 2021. She has a background as a teacher, principal, rural superintendent, and mom. Meanwhile, Kinzer owns an education consulting firm. She co-founded a literacy initiative and is a former science and special education teacher. And President Donald Trump now says reciprocal tariffs he plans to unveil Wednesday are on the table for all nations. That's after the Treasury Secretary told Fox Business earlier this month the focus was on those with the largest trade deficits. Trump also now says any new deal related to the duties will come after they begin. Meanwhile, new 25% tariffs on imported vehicles are scheduled to start Thursday. Trump says he, quote, couldn't care less if that increases car prices so long as more manufacturing comes to the U.S. Many economists predict Trump's tariffs will raise prices and lower demand.
President Trump hinted over the weekend he could run for a third term. That's despite the Constitution prohibiting presidents from serving more than 2 terms. He told NBC that people have asked him to run for a third term, which he says in a way is a 4th term because the other election in 2020 was totally rigged.
Federal funding cuts are throwing local food systems in Wisconsin into chaos. The USDA announced the cuts earlier this month. 2 of the programs cut help supply fresh food for the food banks and pantries. This after the USDA signed a contract earlier this year to fund one of those programs in Wisconsin. Hundreds of farmers took out loans and brought equipment in preparation, but now they have to scramble to find new buyers, which is especially challenging in the spring. Governor Tony Evers and Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin have both urged the Trump administration to restore funding.
20 people are without a home after an apartment fire in Beloit. It happened over the weekend on the city's west side near Harper's Prairie Park. The Beloit Fire Department says there were no injuries. However, we don't currently know the cause of the fire.
And make sure to tune in to News 3 Now this morning. On Wednesday, we will be announcing the winner of our Spirit of Service campaign. One of the 5 veterans you voted for will win $5,000 presented by Vortex. Again, that's Wednesday, April 2nd, right here on News 3 Now this morning.
All right, it's 6:38. Let's get to some baseball news. Today, the Brewers open up the 2025 season against the Kansas City Royals, and fans can expect some changes at the ballpark.
That's right, and our Chris Stanford is live at American Family Field to show us what's new. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning, ladies. Hey, it looks like I've got this field all to myself, doesn't it? It looks like I'm the only one in the ballpark. But take a look down the warning track here at all the media that are also hanging out with the Brewers organization this morning, getting ready for a home opener here. We've got the sausages hanging out over to my right as well. Just a part of an opening day tradition here in Milwaukee at AmFam Field to get everybody excited for the return of Brewers baseball 2025. Hey, something new at the ballpark this year. They've got something called Go Ahead Entry, where you don't have to use your phone, you don't have to use a ticket to get in. All you got to do is show your face in front of the camera. They got a couple of different gates that they're doing this in, so let's explain exactly how it works. You do need to have the MLB Ballpark app. It's something you got to download. There's a little bit of setup, but then once you get it going, getting into the ballpark should be pretty smooth. You can use it again and again at any participating ballpark. There are a lot of major league ballparks across the country that are using this now. The Brewers are using this at 2 gates, home plate west and third base gate. If you bring in family, friends, people like that, all ticketed individuals in your group will be scanned by the Go Ahead cameras. Again, just walk right up to the camera and then walk right in. Hey, here's something else fans will notice this season. If you bring a bag to the ballpark, security staff are going to have to inspect it. That's for anything over the size a 9 by 5 by 2. I don't know. I don't carry around a lot of bags, but at 9 by 5 by 2, that sounds like the size of a smaller bag or a purse. So just be advised of that if you're coming to the ballpark this season. So lots of changes here. There's lots of new food. They've got Food Truck Alley that they're introducing this year. They've got the new way to enter. They've also got a bunch of new fan experiences. And, of course, tributes to Bob Uecker, the first season in over 50 years without the legendary broadcaster. So it is kind of a bittersweet start to the 2025 season, ladies. But the Brewers are excited. They've got lots of new stuff to offer. They're all-class organization that's doing things upright with honoring Uecker and bringing in all the new stuff. So coming up here in just a little bit, we'll talk about some of the other new experiences at the ballpark for fans to enjoy this year.
Yes, lots of tributes, lots of new things. All we need is a Brewers win.
Yes, let's get
Just
that
need
W.
that win. Need that win.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. And remember to tune in to WISC-TV at 1 p.m. today to watch the Brewers home opener. Just a reminder that this is just one of 10 regular season games that will air right here on WISC-TV. But with that game airing today, this will mean some programming changes for your shows. Our noon show will be 1 hour long leading up to the game. We'll have live coverage out there at AmFam Field. So that means your favorite shows that usually start at 12:30 will air on TW. All right, let's check in with Jacob. What's coming up?
Well, after the quiet day today, we have that alert day in the forecast, Tuesday into Wednesday. We just can't seem to catch a break. I'll have the details coming up shortly.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. This morning, we're helping Brewers fans get ready for today's home opener. You can watch it right here on WISC-TV.
Chris and Savannah are live at American Family Field to show us what's new this year. Hey, guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, here we go. Brewers baseball 2025.
Yes.
Chilly start outside, but inside the ballpark it's feeling nice and comfortable.
Yeah, it's not too bad. They got the top on, so that's good.
Yeah, so as everybody knows, Brewers games are all about the fan experience. It's not just baseball. I mean, there's so many other things going on around the ballpark, and they're always adding something new every year. So many different things. We have Tom Hecht, part of the Brewers organization, here to talk to us about some of that. Good morning, Tom. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Happy opening day.
You too.
Happy opening day. What are some of the new experiences that will be happening outside of the stadium this year?
Well, today, we're really trying to make this a celebration today, so we have a lot of activities going on. 38 degrees, who cares? It's a party. We know the tailgaters are already outside getting ready, but yeah, we're going to have some live DJs outside. We have dance teams out there. Our in-stadium hosts with the Brew Crew are going to be out there playing games. So we want the party to start outside and then bring it inside for the game.
Talk about some of the new things inside the ballpark that fans can experience. I mean, we've got food. What else can fans expect?
Well, so I oversee the food and beverage in the ballpark. So one of my big projects this offseason was the Food Truck Alley. So we had great success last year with doing the 3rd Street Market Hall Annex. Fans loved it. They loved the new food in the ballpark. They liked bringing in outside vendors into the ballpark. So we doubled down. That's in the left field corner this year, the Food Truck Alley. And we thought, there's some great restaurants out there, and a lot of them just happen to be on 4 wheels. So why not bring some of that great taste of food trucks into the ballpark, and that's what we've done.
And one of the biggest things that people are going to notice is that Bob Uecker's not with us anymore. And we know that all the lives that he touched inside the Brewers organizations. I'm sure that you had a personal relationship with Bob. What's the start of this season been like for you and for the organization?
Well, it's bittersweet. I mean, Bob Uecker is Brewers baseball, and he will continue to be Brewers baseball. No one's going to forget Bob. His legacy will carry on. We're going to celebrate Bob today. We have a special tribute for Bob during the pregame ceremony. So the pregame is going to start about 12:40, and I really encourage fans to get inside so they don't miss that.
Tom, thank you so much. Go Brewers, and looking forward to everything that the team has to offer inside the stadium this year.
Well, and welcome to the team this year. Excited for the broadcast this year.
I know, WISC-TV carrying the home opener for something that's so exciting for us and for the community. So appreciate it, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, Savannah, getting to Milwaukee today from Madison, what do you think the weather is going to have in store for us?
Yeah, I don't think we're talking about any precipitation. A lot of cloud cover out here right now, though. Temperature is hovering right around freezing level, at least for tailgaters coming out. Definitely be prepared for that, bundle up. But luckily, by the time people are getting to that first pitch at 1:10, I do think temperatures will come up a little bit. They have the top on, which is good news. And then as you're heading home, temperatures are going to be in the mid-40s, and we'll start to finally see that sunshine.
Manageable.
But there's a lot of cloud
Manageable.
cover right now. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if Wisconsinites are anything, we are hardy, and we know how to tailgate in cold weather.
Exactly.
And so whether it's, October, November, December in Green Bay, or
Whatever
it's
month it is.
late January or late March in Milwaukee.
Feels like late January.
It does kind of out there. But no, exciting times here in Milwaukee for the start of the 2025 Brewers season. And we got the Kansas City Royals at 1:10 first pitch today. Exciting stuff. All right, ladies, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Savannah. And we need another check of our weather out here. So we're sending it over to Jacob Montesano with your First Warn weather.
Yeah, looking a little bit past today where we are going to be in that alert day forecast. We're going to see some strong to severe storms. The time frame for this will be Tuesday night into Wednesday. And like I mentioned, we are going to start out as a rain-snow mix and then transition to that all rain and some thunderstorms by Wednesday morning. So here's a look at the severe weather outlook. We have a slight risk for much of the area, enhanced risk further south, and this includes southern Rock County, and a marginal risk further northwest, but everyone has a chance of that severe weather. Best chance of the severe weather hazards will be some hail and gusty winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado either, and we also could see some minor flooding simply because we've had a lot of rain lately. Now, as we take a look at future track, like we mentioned, not going to see much today, mostly sunny skies by the afternoon, and we're going to continue to see mostly clear skies overnight, and we will start Tuesday rather sunny, but then clouds will develop in the afternoon. It will start out as that rain-snow mix Tuesday evening, and then as we get closer to midnight, it will be replaced by all rain, although the further north you're located, the later that will occur, but everyone will see rainfall by sunrise Wednesday, and that's also when we're going to see the heaviest rain and the best chance of severe weather. So again, right around this time Wednesday, we're likely going to see some showers and storms and possibly some severe weather. So the best chance will be during the morning, but areas south of Madison near Rock County, you folks will see the severe weather last a little bit longer. But even as we head towards the afternoon, we are going to see a few isolated showers and storms possibly redevelop. That also could create some hail and gusty winds, but most of it does look to clear out by the evening. And total precipitation could be up to an inch, if not more. So like I mentioned earlier, we may continue to see some flooding concerns as we have had quite a bit of rainfall lately. Now, on top of all that, we're also going to be pretty windy even outside of the thunderstorms, with gusts up to 40 miles per hour at times starting Tuesday night and continuing for much of Wednesday, even after that precipitation clears out, because even into Wednesday night will continue to be breezy, calming down a little bit by Thursday morning. But overall, it is going to get a lot calmer after the system clears out.
All right, so lots to go through, lots of up and down, and alert day ahead still in our forecast, so that's something to look forward to tomorrow. All right, Jacob, thank you. And coming up in the morning sprint, we've got more from American Family Field on what to expect this season. It's 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
We're live at American Family Field because we're just hours away from the return of Brewers baseball. The grounds crew is out here getting the field ready. There's a new way to enter the ballpark this year with facial recognition through the MLB Ballpark app. And of course, it'll be the first season in more than 50 years without the legendary Bob Uecker in the booth. First pitch here on WISC-TV at 1:10 against the Kansas City Royals.
The spring election is tomorrow. Statewide, voters will choose a superintendent of public instruction. Voters will also vote on a constitutional amendment to enshrine an ID requirement to vote in the state's constitution. And nationally, eyes are on the state Supreme Court race. It's expected to decide cases on consequential issues like abortion and congressional maps.
Billionaire Elon Musk gave out $1 million checks to 2 Wisconsin voters ahead of the election. The state's highest court had declined to hear a Democrat's challenge to the giveaways. Musk later said the winners will be spokesmen for an online petition against activist judges. President Donald Trump's senior advisor has poured millions into the race to fill one seat on the court.
President Donald Trump now says reciprocal tariffs are on the table for all nations. Trump also now says any deal related to the duties will come after they begin. Meanwhile, new 25% tariffs on imported vehicles are scheduled to start Thursday. Many economists predict Trump's tariffs will raise prices and lower demand.
And here's a final look at your 10-day forecast. Quiet but cool today, and then we'll see a wintry mix begin Tuesday evening. And then as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, we'll see it be all rain with a few storms. Then after the storms clear out Wednesday evening, we're going to be quiet for the end of the week finally, although temperatures will be a little bit cooler.
All right, things are going to get quiet. That's what I'm looking forward to. But we'll have another news and weather update in 30 minutes.